Start here. Not with perfection. Not with applause. Not with a dramatic turning point. Start with the simple decision to become more valuable in your own life. Most people chase attention, but attention is not the same as value. Attention can come and go. Value stays. Attention can be given for a moment. Value is built over time. Attention can be loud, flashy, and shallow. Value is quiet, steady, and real. If you want a life that feels meaningful, respected, and strong, you need to understand the art of becoming valuable. That art is not about pretending to be more important than other people. It is not about acting superior or building a fake image. It is about becoming the kind of person who brings something real to the table. The kind of person who can be trusted. The kind of person who can solve problems. The kind of person who can stay calm under pressure. The kind of person who can grow through pain instead of becoming bitter because of it. Value is built from character, skill, discipline, honesty, and consistency. It is built when you decide that your life will not be a random collection of moods and reactions. It is built when you choose purpose over drift. And right now, if you feel stuck, delayed, uncertain, or far from where you want to be, that does not mean you are worthless. It means you are in the process of becoming. A diamond does not start as a diamond in appearance. It goes through pressure. A strong life does not begin fully formed. It is shaped through effort, correction, patience, and repeated action. The art of becoming valuable begins when you stop waiting to feel impressive and start becoming useful. Useful to your family. Useful to your work. Useful to your future. Useful to yourself. Because the truth is simple. A person becomes valuable when they can be counted on, when they can improve, when they can endure, and when they can contribute something that lasts. You may not feel valuable yet. That is okay. Feelings are not the final measure. Your direction matters more than your mood. If you keep moving toward growth, you will become more valuable. If you keep learning, you will become more valuable. If you keep showing up, you will become more valuable. The world often teaches people to measure themselves by comparison, by likes, by money, by status, by approval, or by speed. But real value is deeper than that. Real value is what remains when the noise fades. It is what people can rely on when life gets difficult. It is what you can offer even when circumstances are uncertain. And the beautiful thing is that value can be built. It is not reserved for the lucky. It is not reserved for the gifted few. It is available to anyone willing to grow. That means your current situation is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your development. If you are in a season of low confidence, do not turn that season into a permanent identity. If you are in a season of delay, do not let delay become a definition. If you have made mistakes, do not let mistakes become your name. The art of becoming valuable starts with a refusal to stay small in your own mind. It starts with a decision to treat your time, your energy, your words, and your choices like they matter. Because they do matter. Every day you are either adding value to your life or subtracting from it. Every habit either strengthens your future or weakens it. Every decision either builds credibility or erodes it. That is why this work is so important. It is not just about success in the usual sense. It is about becoming a person whose presence improves the room. Someone who brings clarity instead of chaos. Stability instead of panic. Focus instead of distraction. Hope instead of defeat. You do not become that person overnight. You become that person through repetition. Through the small choices nobody applauds. Through the quiet discipline nobody sees. Through the moments when nobody is checking on you except your own conscience. That is where value is built. And that is where your strength begins to rise. The first part of becoming valuable is learning to value your own life enough to stop wasting it. Wasting your life does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it looks like endless procrastination. Sometimes it looks like staying in the same habits because change feels uncomfortable. Sometimes it looks like telling yourself that you will begin later, after you feel more ready, after you know more, after the fear goes away. But later is often just another word for delay. And delay can quietly steal years. If you want a valuable life, you must become serious about your time. Time is one of your greatest assets. Once it passes, you do not get it back. So respect it. Use it. Protect it. Give it meaning. The same is true for your attention. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If your attention is scattered, your value becomes scattered too. If your attention is focused, your growth becomes stronger. This is why the most valuable people are not always the busiest people. They are often the most intentional. They know what matters. They know what does not. They know when to say no. They know when to push. They know when to rest. They know that value does not come from filling every moment with noise. It comes from bringing purpose into the moments that matter. A valuable person is not ruled by every impulse. They do not let boredom dictate behavior. They do not let fear dictate standards. They do not let pressure dictate identity. They decide. They choose. They move with awareness. That kind of life is powerful because it makes room for progress. It creates space for wisdom. It creates space for self-respect. And self-respect is one of the strongest foundations of value. When you respect yourself, you stop treating your life like a spare room full of clutter. You start treating it like something worth caring for. That means cleaning up your habits. It means cleaning up your thinking. It means cleaning up your circle. It means cleaning up your routine. It means removing what weakens you and keeping close what strengthens you. This is not about becoming rigid. It is about becoming aligned. Alignment means your actions and your goals are no longer fighting each other. You want a better life, so you act like a person who is building one. You want more peace, so you stop feeding chaos. You want more confidence, so you keep promises to yourself. You want more success, so you learn, practice, and repeat. That is how value grows from the inside out. And the first proof of value is reliability. Can you trust yourself? Can other people trust your word? Can your work be counted on? Can your effort be depended on? These questions matter because value is not just about talent. Plenty of talented people never become truly valuable because they cannot be trusted to stay consistent. Talent opens doors. Reliability keeps doors open. When you are reliable, people feel safe around your effort. They know you are not just excited when life is easy. They know you can continue when life is hard. That is rare. And rarity is part of what makes something valuable. If you want to grow in value, start keeping your word in small things. If you say you will wake up at a certain time, do it. If you say you will study for 30 minutes, do it. If you say you will finish the task, finish it. Small acts of trust build a larger reputation with yourself. And once you trust yourself, your whole posture changes. You walk differently. You speak differently. You handle pressure differently. You stop needing constant outside approval because your inner evidence is stronger than outside noise. Another part of becoming valuable is learning to solve problems instead of adding to them. The world is full of people who complain loudly but contribute little. They point out what is wrong, but they do not help build what is right. A valuable person becomes a problem solver. That does not mean they have all the answers. It means they are willing to look for them. They are willing to think. They are willing to learn. They are willing to ask, what can be done? Instead of, why is everything so unfair? Both questions may arise, but only one moves you forward. Problem solving is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets. When trouble appears, do not panic first. Pause. Observe. Break the issue down. Ask what is in your control. Ask what you can improve. Ask what needs to change. Ask what can be learned. This habit makes you more useful in life, and usefulness is a major form of value. A useful person is not helpless in difficulty. They can adapt. They can organize. They can respond with maturity. They can bring order where there was confusion. That does not mean they are never overwhelmed. It means they do not stay overwhelmed forever. They recover. They regroup. They move again. This mindset matters because life will not always reward you for trying. Sometimes you will try and still fail. Sometimes you will work hard and still be overlooked. Sometimes you will be patient and still feel delayed. In those moments, a person without inner value collapses because the outside world is not validating them. But a person who is building value from within keeps going because they are not dependent on constant applause. They know their work has meaning even before it has recognition. They know their growth has worth even before it is admired. They know that the process is shaping them into someone stronger, steadier, and more capable. That is the deeper reward. The reward is not only the outcome. The reward is becoming the kind of person who can handle outcomes. The art of becoming valuable also requires courage. Not loud courage. Quiet courage. The courage to begin again after disappointment. The courage to speak honestly when silence would be easier. The courage to learn something new when your ego wants to pretend you already know enough. The courage to be seen as a beginner while you are building skill. Many people avoid growth because they are afraid of looking inexperienced. But every expert was once a beginner. Every strong person was once uncertain. Every respected person was once in a season where they had to prove themselves step by step. If you avoid being new, you also avoid becoming better. So accept the beginning. Accept the learning curve. Accept the awkward stage. It is not a sign that you are weak. It is a sign that you are developing. And development is valuable. Courage also means you stop protecting your pride more than your future. Pride says, I cannot ask for help because I might look foolish. Courage says, I would rather grow than pretend. Pride says, I cannot admit I was wrong. Courage says, I can be corrected. Pride says, I need to look strong all the time. Courage says, I can be honest and still become strong. That honesty is powerful because it opens the door to transformation. The people who become most valuable are often the ones who are willing to be corrected without becoming defensive. They can receive truth. They can change direction. They can adapt without breaking. That flexibility is not weakness. It is strength in motion. And strength in motion is often what life needs most. Value is also shaped by character, and character is built when nobody is watching. Character is what you do when it is inconvenient. It is what you choose when there is no reward yet. It is what you keep when temptation is close and no one would know if you gave in. Character is the hidden foundation of a valuable life. Without it, success becomes unstable. With it, even a small beginning can grow into something lasting. Character says, I will not sell my integrity for a temporary advantage. Character says, I will not destroy my future for a moment of relief. Character says, I will remain the same person in private that I claim to be in public. That kind of consistency is rare, and rarity makes it powerful. People trust character because character survives pressure. It does not disappear when the mood changes. It does not collapse when the environment becomes difficult. It stands. If you want to become more valuable, practice character in the small places. How do you talk about people when they are not there? How do you handle inconvenience? How do you respond when plans change? How do you behave when nobody is clapping? These are the tests that shape a strong life. And the good news is that you can improve in these areas starting now. You do not need a new identity handed to you. You can build one through your choices. The next part of the art is resilience. Value without resilience is fragile. A person may have skill and charm, but if they collapse at the first disappointment, their value remains limited. Resilience is what helps value survive hardship. It is the ability to be knocked down without becoming defeated. It is the ability to be disappointed without becoming bitter. It is the ability to carry pain without letting pain decide your worth. Resilience is built in the moments when you want to stop but choose to continue. It is built when you recover from embarrassment. It is built when you learn from rejection instead of allowing rejection to poison your self-image. It is built when you stay open after disappointment. Every time you endure and keep moving, your value deepens. Because now you are not just capable in easy conditions. You are capable under pressure. That matters. The world is full of people who shine only when everything is smooth. But true value shows up when conditions are rough. A valuable person can still think clearly when things go wrong. They can still speak with calm when stress rises. They can still act with discipline when emotions are loud. That is what resilience does. It protects your purpose from temporary weather. And there will be weather. There will be storms of self-doubt. There will be dry seasons where progress feels invisible. There will be days when you question whether the effort is worth it. In those days, do not measure yourself only by how you feel. Measure yourself by how you respond. Did you continue? Did you learn? Did you adjust? Did you keep your standards? That is the real test. Not whether the day felt easy, but whether you remained committed. A resilient person is valuable because they do not only contribute when life is convenient. They contribute when life is difficult. They are dependable in the storm. They are steady in the unknown. They are strong enough to keep growing when others give up. That makes them rare, and rarity creates value. Another piece of value is skill. Skill matters because good intentions alone do not build a life. Many people want better results, but they do not take the time to become better at the things that matter. They want confidence, but they do not practice enough to earn it. They want opportunity, but they do not prepare for it. They want respect, but they do not refine their craft. Skill changes that. Skill is proof that you are willing to work. Skill says, I am not only dreaming, I am training. Skill can be learned. It can be improved. It can be sharpened. And every new skill increases your usefulness. Learn how to communicate clearly. Learn how to manage your time. Learn how to stay organized. Learn how to solve practical problems. Learn how to write, speak, build, create, sell, design, lead, or support well. The exact skill may differ for each person, but the principle is the same. The more capable you become, the more value you can bring. And skill is one of the most empowering things a person can develop because it turns desire into capability. A person with desire but no skill feels frustrated. A person with skill begins to feel free. They can contribute. They can create. They can respond. They can earn trust. They can move from wishing to doing. That shift changes everything. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how others experience you. It changes what opportunities become possible. Skill also creates confidence that is real, not inflated. Fake confidence tries to sound powerful. Real confidence knows what it can do because it has practiced. Real confidence is quiet. It does not need to boast because the work has already been done. If you want to become valuable, keep learning. Never become too proud to grow. Never become too comfortable to improve. The moment you stop learning, your value begins to plateau. But when you keep learning, you keep expanding. You become more adaptable. You become more effective. You become harder to replace. That is not about ego. It is about contribution. The more you can contribute, the more valuable your presence becomes. There is also value in emotional maturity. A mature person does not make every moment about themselves. They can listen. They can understand. They can respond with patience. They do not explode every time they are challenged. They do not crumble every time they are corrected. They are not perfect, but they are grounded. Emotional maturity is valuable because life is full of people, and people need stability. If you can become a stable presence, you will stand out. You do not need to dominate a room to matter. Sometimes the most valuable person is the one who calms the room. The one who thinks before speaking. The one who helps others feel safe enough to be honest. The one who knows how to carry themselves with respect without arrogance. Emotional maturity also helps you protect your energy. It helps you stop chasing every mood, every argument, every distraction, every dramatic impulse. Instead, you learn to pause and choose what serves your future. That kind of control is powerful. It prevents unnecessary damage. It saves relationships. It preserves focus. It supports your growth. And once again, growth adds value. The valuable person is not controlled by every feeling. They are led by their standards. They know when to step in and when to step back. They know how to listen, how to learn, how to respond, and how to stay centered. That center becomes a source of strength for everyone around them. People feel it. They may not always explain it, but they notice it. They trust it. And trust is one of the deepest forms of value. If you can become someone who brings trust into the lives of others, your value will rise naturally. To become valuable, you also need to stop living like your current weakness is permanent. Weakness is not your final state. Weakness is a starting point for growth. You may be weak in discipline now, but discipline can be trained. You may be weak in confidence now, but confidence can be built. You may be weak in focus now, but focus can be practiced. You may be weak in patience now, but patience can be strengthened. Nothing useful grows when you keep calling your current condition your destiny. A valuable person does not make peace with their limitations as if they are final. They respect reality, but they also challenge it. They say, "This is where I am today, and I am willing to improve." That willingness is huge. Because growth begins where excuses end. And excuses end when honesty begins. So be honest about your starting point, but do not worship it. Be honest about your flaws, but do not name them as forever. Be honest about your delays, but do not let delays define your identity. The point is not to deny where you are. The point is to move from there with courage. A valuable life is not built by fantasy. It is built by facing the truth and working from it. That kind of honesty can be uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the gate to greatness. When you are willing to look clearly at your life, you can make cleaner decisions. You can stop overthinking and start building. You can stop hoping change will arrive by accident. You can become an active participant in your own transformation. That is what serious people do. They take ownership of their growth. They do not sit around waiting to feel ready for a life that is already asking them to rise. At this point, many people ask how long it takes to become valuable. The answer is this: value grows every time you practice what matters. There is no magic hour where you suddenly become important. There is a process. One good habit at a time. One stronger decision at a time. One better response at a time. One lesson at a time. one day of honesty at a time. Over time, those choices create momentum. Momentum is important because it changes how your life feels. At first, every step may feel heavy. But once movement begins, movement creates more movement. The work starts to feel less like punishment and more like direction. The body becomes stronger. The mind becomes clearer. The standards become higher. The identity becomes steadier. And then people begin to notice something different about you. They may not know exactly what changed, but they can feel it. There is more confidence in your voice. More calm in your eyes. More purpose in your actions. More steadiness in your presence. That is value becoming visible. But even if nobody notices right away, keep going. Do not build your worth on immediate recognition. Build it on real growth. Recognition is unstable. Growth is solid. Recognition can come late. Growth is happening now. Recognition can be mistaken. Growth is measurable in your habits, your choices, and your inner strength. So stay loyal to the process. You are not falling behind. You are building depth. And depth matters because shallow success breaks easily. Deep success can withstand pressure. Deep success can survive criticism. Deep success can adapt when the ground shifts. Deep success is rooted in character, skill, resilience, and focus. That kind of value does not come from quick wins alone. It comes from becoming someone who can carry the winds well. One of the most powerful things you can do is start believing that your future deserves better than your excuses. Excuses are comfortable because they protect you from responsibility. But they also protect you from growth. Every excuse says, not now. Not me. Not this time. Not because of me. But a valuable person learns to challenge those phrases. They say, maybe I am not ready yet, but I can prepare. Maybe I failed, but I can adjust. Maybe I wasted time, but I can start now. Maybe I have been inconsistent, but I can become reliable. That is the language of growth. It is not arrogant. It is not fantasy. It is honest responsibility paired with hope. Hope without action is fragile. Action gives hope a body. Action makes hope visible. So move. Not because everything is easy, but because your future becomes more valuable when you do. Move through the awkward beginning. Move through the learning curve. Move through the disappointment. Move through the fear. A life of value is rarely built by waiting. It is built by willingness. Willingness to learn. Willingness to work. Willingness to recover. Willingness to refine. Willingness to persist. Those are powerful words because they describe a person who is no longer a prisoner of hesitation. They describe a person who can become more than their past. They describe a person who is learning how to carry strength with humility. That combination is rare and respected. It is also useful. A humble, strong person can lead, support, and build without becoming arrogant or brittle. That balance is part of the art. Value does not mean you become hard in a cold way. It means you become steady in a strong way. You become dependable without becoming dull. You become ambitious without becoming reckless. You become confident without becoming cruel. You become driven without losing your human side. That balance is what makes value beautiful. The more mature you become, the more your value stops needing noise. You do not need to prove yourself in every conversation. You do not need to announce your progress every day. You do not need to perform confidence to be confident. You simply keep showing up. You keep learning. You keep improving. You keep honoring the version of yourself that is trying to rise. And that quiet consistency becomes something powerful. It becomes proof that you are no longer living by impulse alone. You are living by intention. Your life begins to feel more organized, more grounded, more meaningful. You become someone who can be trusted by others because you have become trustworthy to yourself. That transformation is worth everything. So if you are feeling behind, remember this: being behind is not the same as being done. If you are feeling unsure, remember this: uncertainty is not a life sentence. If you are feeling ordinary, remember this: ordinary does not mean incapable. The art of becoming valuable is available to you right now. You do not need a different beginning. You need a better response to the beginning you already have. Use what you have. Start where you are. Improve what is in front of you. Take the next task seriously. Take your habits seriously. Take your time seriously. Take your future seriously. That seriousness is not gloomy. It is empowering. It says your life is worth the effort. It says your potential is worth the discipline. It says your future is worth the patience. And when you begin living like that, value grows naturally. Not because you forced it, because you cultivated it. That is the art. And it is one of the most important arts a person can learn. A valuable life is not built on luck. It is built on choices that repeat until they become character. So keep choosing. Keep building. Keep becoming. The quiet work you do now will become the strong life you live later. And when that day comes, you will understand that value was never something you had to chase in others. It was something you had to develop in yourself. The more you honor that process, the more your life begins to reflect it. Your standards rise. Your words sharpen. Your focus deepens. Your courage expands. Your identity strengthens. You become the kind of person whose presence carries weight because your life has substance. That is what people respond to. Not image alone. Not noise alone. Substance. And substance comes from hours of effort, moments of honesty, seasons of resilience, and years of choosing growth over comfort. So do not rush the becoming. Respect it. The art of becoming valuable is the art of becoming useful, trustworthy, resilient, skilled, and steady. It is the art of becoming the kind of person who can build a future without waiting for permission. It is the art of becoming someone your own life can depend on. That person is inside you already, waiting for repetition, waiting for discipline, waiting for courage, waiting for your next decision. Give them room. Give them work. Give them time. Then watch how your life begins to change from the inside out. Keep going, because every serious step adds value to who you are becoming. Keep learning, because learning sharpens your mind and strengthens your path. Keep showing up, because consistency is one of the purest forms of worth. Keep building, because a valuable life is never found, it is made. What you build with patience, honesty, and effort will outlast every doubt that once tried to define you. You are not waiting for value to appear. You are creating it now, one decision at a time. And that is how a life becomes strong, steady, and impossible to ignore.